another day. He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I
After he and mom
was
divorced, I was mad at him. For some years, I was mad at him. And yet he would take me out to eat every week, even if I didn't want to go. He would still take me out, even if we didn't talk about hardly anything. He would still take me out. So he had real tenacity in continuing. He didn't let things being difficult between us stop him ever from trying to have a relationship with me.
Yeah, so my favorite thing of Dad was his love of the outdoors. I mean, it's pretty poignant that I'm here right now camping with my wife, who's right. I don't know if you can see her. See the campfire here. My wife's over here. Yeah, I love the outdoors. I mean, he's the one that got me into climbing all 54 Colorado 14ers. He planted the seed for that. He planted the seed for all the backpacking I've done. The camping I've done, just the love for the outdoors that I have was a superpower of Dad's that carries through to this day when I'm camping here with my wife. So that is that's a superpower for him. His worst, maybe his worst trait was being unwilling to admit when he's wrong, and he would never, he wasn't one to say he's sorry or to admit that admit any failure that he had in his life. Which actually leads to my story with him. When me, Vince, and Chris were climbing Wilson Peak, which is a 14,000-foot peak in the San Juan Mountains. I think I was 11, Chris 10, Vince was 12, and it's not a hard mountain, but he took us on the wrong. He got lost, kind of took us on the wrong trail, but would never admit to it. He said he got us on a tough trail because he wanted to toughen us up. But we could have died on that darn trail. We're climbing this cliffy thing, and I don't know if you, Vince and Chris, remember this, but our legs were shaking and vibrating like crazy on Wilson Peak. Dad was behind us in case one of us fell, which could have easily happened because this was really steep. If one of us fell, he might have caught one of us. He wasn't going to catch. He's no way he could catch three of us because we were. It was just impossible. So he took us up this crazy cliff, and he would not let us turn around. He was. We're going to make it to the top no matter what. And we did make it to the top, but it turned out to be the scariest peak I've ever climbed. I've climbed some pretty tough ones. I've never been as scared as I was on a mountain as I was when I was 11 years old when Dad forced us up Wilson Peak. Wow. And like I say, he said he was trying to toughen us up, but he didn't admit until over 50 years later that he screwed up and got us on the wrong trail. So it took him that long to admit that he was wrong.
I just changed my most favorite trait of Dad because of Mark's story. And a trait that Dad has had that was, to me, remarkable is he always felt things were going to work out. Mark's story is good because he figured, yeah, we're in trouble, but it's going to work out. He would lay his sleeping bag on the ground by a highway and go to sleep and figured, I might get robbed, but it's going to work out. And and I saw him challenge an expert on China at a high school auditorium. This was in the late 60s when China was just being opened up. And this expert on China had gone to China and came back and was making some statements about it. And Dad stood up and said, I have a question about that. I think that's a bunch of hooey. And the guy said, what are you talking about? And the guy said, have you been to China before? And Dad said, hell yes, I've been to China. I knew that he had not. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what is my dad getting himself into? And the guy realized that Dad was lying, and I think the whole audience did. It ended up being a big laugh.
Was all meant for good? Probably not. Or which leads to the bad trait, and that was his unpredictability and temper, which we've all been a victim of that, of course. So there's some actual terror in that, and I have, and I'm sure we all have some memories that really stuck with me for way longer than they should have, but they did. I don't dwell on that kind of stuff anymore, but well into my 30s for sure.
We all have our story of getting beaten by dad, except for
Yeah, I
Jen.
know. Except for
Yeah.
Jenny. Yeah, I know. So yeah, that was awful. Needless to say, Mom always had all those worries that we would all end up messed up, and I guess we didn't, or at least not so badly anyway.
I think I would say, I wish I saw you as a regular human being earlier in my life. I'm sorry it took me so long to realize you were just a regular human being.
I would say, Dad, I still want to be like you.
Oh,
I would like to say to him, and I actually feel like I am actually saying to him, it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like I'm saying this is what I'd like to say to him. It feels like I am saying to him that that it's okay. I know it's tough on you to hear some of this,
mm,
but I understand. I know that you're a product of what you went through with your own family, and there's a lot of trauma there, and you're okay. And I feel like what we went through, there's some trauma there, and we're okay. And frankly, you're my equal, we're the same. We are in the same skin. We are very similar in so many respects. And so you're okay, and you can let go. I think he already had let go, but I'm just confirming you can let go, and it is time to just embrace. Really, just time to embrace.
I would say that Dad, through it all, as Peter said, all's well that ends well, and I sure love you, and I know that you love me too.